If any of you want to share your interview experience through our YouTube channel, you are always welcome. Please do share your contact information and what are the companies that you got placed in to our email ID techmyhire@gmail.com, and we will contact you and we can make a video.
Hey, hi Varun, how are you doing?
Hi, Shekhar. Yeah, I'm very fine. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. So, firstly, can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, sure. My pleasure. Hi, guys. I'm Varun Ritvik from R&D Engineering College in Chennai, and I'm currently doing my undergraduation in Electrical and Electronics Engineering department. And now I recently cracked two companies. One is Cognizant and Accenture as well. And now I'm here to give you my interview experience with Cognizant.
Now, let's move on to your experience. So, what were the questions that were asked in a TR?
Yeah, actually, in this Cognizant recruitment drive, I've been opted for Cognizant Gen Z next role of Python developer for a
Okay,
package of 6.75 lakhs per annum.
okay,
And yeah, the interview experience was pretty exciting, I would say. And the interviewer was very friendly as well. He just started with the flow, and he just asked me the question of yeah, just introduce yourself, and he just asked about my college life experience, how was the life has been, and all. Very typical interviewer. He was just trying to settle me up and make me calm down, and that really makes me happy, and that boosted my confidence to give my best, my 100% best towards the interview. And then probably he just directly went into Python, because yeah, it was a no-brainer, because I was applying for a Python developer role, and yeah, definitely. And I just know Python language, so yeah, I'm very confident about in Python. And then he started shooting some basic questions in Python, like what is Python, who invented Python, and then like what's namespace in Python, how the memory management works in Python. And also he just asked me about the applications of Python. Yeah, and like what the field in IT industry using this Python. Like example, we have Python for artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science, and web scraping as well. And so yeah, this was the answers just given by me. And also he just asked me about oops guys, at this point of time I would like to let you know that there would be no interview without being the question asked as oops. It was just a very important topic for everyone to learn. So just be confident enough with OOPS concepts. So he started me with OOPS, and he just asked me to explain the what are the four pillars of OOPS concepts, like inheritance, abstraction, and data encapsulation, and inheritance, like that. And it was also like he just asked me to implement these concepts yeah, using code. And just I started sharing my screen, and I just typed a few small programs just to give the touch of implementation of this OOPS concepts in the program. And yeah, that's it. And then also he shooted some questions like what would be the what would be the evolution of Python, where do you think this Python can go, and also like that. And then he came to ask some questions like yeah, I was sharing the screen at that time, and he asked me to code something, and he given me four questions. He asked me to solve four of them, and namely those were sorry, those of them, one was linear search and binary search. And also he asked a couple of questions in lists and couple of questions in strings. And yeah, linear and binary search were definitely no brainer. We have to learn that searching and sorting algorithms. Definitely, without that, definitely we can't crack a company. So yeah, that would be no brainer. So I just made it. And then he asked me about strings and lists as well. And the list question was pretty easy, I would say. And the strings question, yeah, it just took me a time, but yeah, I solved it. And then yeah, and he asked me for are there any other ways to solve the programs in the strings and list. And yeah, I just took one method. I just took another way of solving the strings question. Unfortunately, I couldn't able to do that for lists. So
okay,
yeah, and that's it. He was pretty much happy with that, I think. And then he just asked me about how was my being a core department like electrical. Why are you switching to IT field, and how was this happened? Why was this happening like that? And then just at that point of time, I just told him that I was pretty much excited in programming as well, and this brought me up to here. I just started learning programming since the day one of my college. That in my college, definitely we have to learn a programming language. Definitely, one, we need an experience to face the interview. So definitely for that, we will just go through the interview experiences and all. At this point of time, I got to know about this Tech Hire YouTube channel, and I've just been through the interviews. They were been making videos. Those are definitely helpers for me. So I just got to know how the questions are being asked, how I have to tackle them, what would be the new questions. So yeah, that definitely those videos made up my mind. So definitely these helped me a lot in cracking the interview. So definitely I would say thanks for that to the YouTube channels. And he asked me about my projects. So yeah, I can't say that my projects are involved with programming, but yeah, those are related to my branch of engineering. So and actually, unfortunately, and I was the leader for two of my projects, and those two projects won the first prize as well. So definitely that gave me upper hand in explaining the whole the project experience with the interviewer. So yeah, that also given me a mark. And then and then he started asking me about my extracurricular activities, like what will I do in the free time. And then yeah, I was a basketball fan. I used to play basketball a lot in my in my college days. So definitely I have also added that. And and prior to that, mm, probably he was interested in going just through the resume. There were no questions asked out of resume, I think. And at this point, so the interviewer also would like to check what new fields in the current trends of IT. They would like to know how well versed you are about that field. At this, he was just asked me about just basic questions about data science and artificial intelligence and that all. That was not quite deep. So probably any engineering graduate can answer that questions, I would say. So that would be not a problem. And yeah, that's it. There would be no questions other than that. And I think really we have to, at this point of time, I would like to advise you that definitely at this so we have to do programming as well. We have to learn. And also the main point here is I would just like to give you I would just like to give an information is we know the concepts, but we have to practice, in order to say that to an interviewer.
Yes.
We all know what the inheritance was. We all know what the data encapsulation was. But here the marks was given for the person who clearly explained that concept, how well he conveyed his knowledge to the interviewer. So this
Yes.
matters a lot, definitely. So I think one should practice that as well. So probably there wouldn't be any new questions coming out of sky. The questions were basic, and the question, the way he asked will definitely matter. And the main part was how you are answering the question. How are you conveying your knowledge to him? So this
Yes.
definitely helps a lot. Trust me, guys, this helps me a lot. Maybe, and at this point of time, I also noticed that, see, CS IT branches and circuital branches, these were different. So the expectations from the CS or IT guy who was facing the interview are definitely damn high. Trust me, those are damn high. So whenever it comes to the circuital branches, yeah, we have to be very good at programming. There would be no chance, there would be no excuse for that. Definitely, you have to be good at programming. And the questions asked were limited. Let me say, in this interview, apart from my programming in Python, I just got questions from SQL. So luckily, I've been through YouTube channels like Tech My Hire. I just got to know that the SQL knowledge is also important. So I just been through the SQL and all, because being an electrical engineer, I have no use with SQL in my subject. So there was not any SQL in my in my curriculum. So I just got to know that yeah, SQL would be a fine skill to have in my skill set. So I just been through the SQL maybe probably 3-4 days before an interview. I just got to know basics, and my basics are covered. And probably I was a fast learner, so that would be no problem to me. I just took the glance of SQL and all. That's it. So in that time, he asked me about basic questions in SQL. So that would be a good mark for me.
Yeah.
So I would so at this so I would say that definitely there would be an upper hand for CSIT, because their domain was pretty related to the domain the Cognizant was working, which is IT. So definitely the expectations from the CS or IT guy were definitely damn high. So you have to be up to mark. For I was giving this to CSIT guys, and for when the circuital branches are concerned, we have to be well versed with programming, and also it would be good to have the concepts like DBMS or OS and all. And your projects matter a lot, guys. Your projects matter a lot because see, some people during my interviews also, uh, I have a confusion that yeah, I was attending an IT interview and I have no projects related to IT in my resume. How am I going to tackle this? These were the questions just revolving in my mind. So I just contacted my seniors and searched here and there, and then I got to know that see, there were no limits in your project. Your project may be related to your core or not. That doesn't matter. The thing that matters in project discussion was how well you are performing in the project. What was your role in project? How are you explaining that to the interviewer? This matters a lot. Not it's nothing about what the project was. Do this project have some IT technologies involved, or it was just a hardcore electrical or a mechanical or civil project like that. So just take it out of mind. I was just mentioning here because I faced it this time. I learned the hard way. I just want you guys to clear at this point. So, and I would say that would be the final technical round discussion for me. And yeah, that's it.
So after this TR, you will be having HR, right? So what was your HR room experience?
After finishing my technical round, I think it was 3 to 4 days. I guess I just got the HR interview link, and then the HR got started. HR was really it was kind of very happy and simple going interview. I guess for me. So he just asked me about introduce myself, and then also some questions related to my project, and also he asked why was I interested in joining Cognizant. There were several companies out there. Why were you interested in Cognizant? And that's it. And yeah, definitely being a graduate, we definitely know how to tackle these questions because these questions are pretty repeated. Definitely, we have to make up our answer in order to convince him. So yeah, I worked on this post interview itself. I just learned how to tackle this question like that. And so yeah, at this point of time, I can just give you an small sample answer for this. Why we have to join Cognizant like that? Firstly, you have to tell the what are the advantages in joining in the company, and how are they good at at their field. Definitely, whenever you started a day before interview, you just have to log into the Google the company name, and there will be a website for them. So definitely you can go through that, and what were the activities they were performing, what were the domains they are serving. Whenever the Cognizant was concerned, there were several domains like web development. They are into data science as well. They were pretty wide domains they were in. So it would be easy for me to just explain how they are doing at this work and all. And also you have to add a point how was work culture there, how was the work-life balance there. So this will definitely will create a good impression on you at the interviewer. And uh, and then he asked me to show my Aadhaar card and some documents, my intermarks and all. And yeah, guys, actually I would like to inform you this. Some people out there, our audience might be they were quite they were quite interested in knowing marks. Oh, maybe this marks landed him this in this particular company like that. Is it so, Sekar? Definitely,
No.
they were like, yeah. So yeah, so my CGPA was 8.5, and my inter marks like +1 +2 marks 96%, and my 10th class marks were 92%. Just to add, but definitely, guys, this marks definitely will not help in you the interview. It was purely depend upon your skill, your programming knowledge, and that's it. This marks definitely wouldn't help you in the interview, because at the no point of this 1 hour he asked me about my marks. He just cared about how am I good enough in programming, and that's it. That made my day.
Yeah. So after this HR interview happened, what was the time taken from CTS to send you an confirmation mail?
So yeah, actually, CTS wasn't directly, talking with me. We have no contact directly with me. They were just related to, contacting with TPOs in our college. They just made the answer to TPOs, and TPOs just told me that I got selected in Cognizant in the next role. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. So before this TR and HR, there was a written test, right? So what is the written test pattern that you have undergone?
That actually that was I would say that difficulty level was medium to hard. Definitely that wouldn't be easy, guys, because Gen Z Elevate or Gen Z, I think that question paper standards was pretty basic, and in Gen Z there wouldn't be any programming. There was just aptitude. That's it. And Gen Z Elevate, I think they have the programming. And in Gen Z Next, when Gen Z Next is concerned, there was no aptitude in my questions. So I think for 20 to 25 questions related to CSIT field. That's it. Those question papers involves like concepts like DBMS and OS and SDLC, software development lifecycle, and then a bit of HTML, and that's it, I would say. And then they were asked to solve I think 5 to 6 questions were asked. In those, I think 2 were SQL, based on SQL, and 3 were just competitive programming questions. I think I can rate that as somewhere between medium and hard. The difficulty level was somewhere between medium and hard. So yeah, that's it. That's about written test.
Yeah. So before we end this interview experience, let's say if I'm a fresher, if I was aspiring to join in Cognizant as a Gen Z Next developer or a role, so what would the suggestions that you suggest?
Okay, okay, I would say that, guys, definitely you shouldn't be preparing for the certain company. I would say, Sekhar, definitely learning for a particular company will definitely, it gains you knowledge, but definitely there would be another side for a coin. You may be broken and said, if that company was in converted, definitely you have to face the hard time. So I would say that you will definitely not, you should not be in a position like learning and preparing for the particular company and all. Yeah, we all have dream companies that should be that should be mentioned. But when it comes to placement preparation, then definitely it would be good enough to prepare in all domains as well. So yeah, and also see, guys, there would be 2 ways, like CSIT guys and circuit branches related guys in BTech. In this preparation, CSIT guys, trust me, I have been talking with my friends from computer science and IT department. Their expectations were really damn high. So you have to prepare yourself for that. Definitely, you can't just get easily the job you think. I think definitely you are worth it, because definitely you've been studying the IT concepts or software engineering concepts since 3 years, since 3 or 4 years. So definitely this will be no brainer for you. I think definitely you can do this. So whenever the core branches was concerned, like circuit branches were concerned, guys, be thorough with one programming language. Definitely, you have to be thorough with one programming language, whatever it might be. C, C++, Java, Python, whatever it may be. No questions asked. You have to be well versed in one programming language. That's it. And then also you have it if you have time. Just have a look at SQL. That's it. I can just suggest you this. This would be more than enough. And also make your projects ready. See, definitely projects will matter in interview. Whatever the project might be, projects will matter in interview. You see, because this projects definitely. For example, in my 60 minutes of interview, I think I have given a time of 20 to 25 minutes just to explain my projects. So there you can see the importance of projects. So whatever the project might be, you have to be in a position to explain that very well. That's how your communication skills get portrayed to the interviewer. So you can't just keep on talking about the Python like that, right? So there would be some deviation for you. So at that time, projects will definitely are the helping hands. You have to good with the projects. And then I would say communication skills, those are definitely important. Those were definitely, I don't think that would be a specific question to be explained. So communication skills are must. And then I would say you have to also have to practice aptitude as well. We have several platforms when we Google for it. Make sure to practice aptitude as well, because you will have to be clearing the written test, which includes programming and aptitude. Yeah, after clearing this, only you will be facing the interviewer. Pre-interview process were pretty typical, pretty old school. They were just like that. So I think yes, maybe for my juniors, like 23 passed outs, 24 passed outs, guys, I think you will be definitely you'll be attending the interviews the typical way, like directly face-to-face interview. So yeah, I think you have to start working on yourself right now, because preparing for the interviews were definitely wouldn't be happening in the single day pre-interview. That's it. 1 year, 2 years, it will never happen like that. Since the day of joining in your college, you have to start working on your interview skills, that would be easy, I would say, because sitting a 1 year or sitting a 2 to 3 months before the interview and preparing for that, definitely this builds up a pressure in you. So I think that wouldn't be a good option for opting for that. Be calm, be gentle, and start learning from the day one of your college itself. Yeah, we all love to enjoy our BTech life, and yeah, that was very fine, and that's pretty pretty basic thing. One issue a student would aspire. So yeah, having enjoyed in the BTech life, and also you have to concentrate on your career. So yeah, I think that would be my advice for the students. Yeah.
So, thank you, Varun, for sharing your experience. This means a lot. You have given many suggestions. These tips will definitely helpful for the audience and for the juniors who are planning to step into IT. Anything else before you end?
Yeah, that's really my pleasure to take part in this, sharing my work experience with you guys. Definitely you guys are doing better, please keep going, because when I was seeing in YouTube, there were many YouTube channels who are like, they were just mostly providing the interview experiences for top product based companies like Google, Amazon, with like Google, Amazon, and Netflix,
Flipkart, yeah, next
Facebook,
yeah.
like that. Yeah, those were correct. But we have all members can't be in the product companies. I can't. I wasn't just demotivating you guys. You can do in well in product based companies, but definitely we shouldn't overlook the service based companies as well. Because product based companies, they will be visiting to tier one colleges like that, IITs, NITs, BITS, like that. They would be visiting that colleges. If you are someone who are like me in the tier two or tier three colleges, you wouldn't be get a chance to be in the product based interview in the on campus drive. So definitely, I think service companies are the one to target first, and then you build up your skill, and then you can just make a switch to product based companies. So never overlook a service based company. Yeah, that's it. I would say.
Okay, thank you once again. Bye.
Bye, Sekar.